Hey everyone, it's Sean Eichhorn from Fitness Success, and what I'm going to be talking about today is a goal setting workshop. So I'm going to identify and talk to you why goals are so important and how to establish an action plan that'll help you achieve your goals. So first of all, before we start, I want to talk about the power of goals. Now, I came across an interesting study that I found out about a couple years ago, actually, after reading a book. It was called Goals, and it was written, I can't remember the fellow's name right now, but it was really interesting. And the study was actually conducted by Harvard from 1979 to 1989 from their senior class of 1979 that were graduating that year. And the graduates were asked, have you set clear, written goals for your future and made plans to accomplish them? And it was quite interesting what they found out. 3% had written goals and written plans on how to achieve them. 13% had goals, but they didn't have an action plan on how they were going to achieve their goals. And 84% had no specific goals aside from getting out of school and just enjoying the summer. So here's the results. 10 years later, the study, they interviewed the surviving members of the class of 1979, and they interviewed them again, and they found out that 13% of the people that graduated in 1979 that had goals but were not in writing were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. But the astonishing fact was that the 3% that had written goals and an action plan on how to achieve those goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% of the graduates combined. I mean, that just amazes me. It just shows you, and teaches us the power if you not only have a goal, but if you create an action plan on how to reach that goal, your success rate just goes way up. And that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do. We're going to show you how to set goals and then create an action plan to help you achieve those goals. So the first step when you do this is you want to identify what you want or what you want to achieve. And you want to be very specific and find a way to measure it. If you're looking to get back in shape, don't just say I want to lose weight and I want to get back in shape. Be specific. So maybe you want to lose 20 pounds. That's something that you can identify, and that way you can measure it and actually tell yourself if you achieved it or not. Or maybe you want to lose 4 pant sizes. Again, that's very specific, and you can measure it to see if you achieve the goal. So identify what you want to achieve in step number 1, and again, be very specific on what you want to achieve. Step number 2 then is you want to identify what you want to achieve and why the goal is so important to you. And this is your motivation. So if you can identify the why, you will find out how to achieve your goals. And what I mean by that is, again, it's your motivation. So if you can, really identify why those goals are so important to you, you're much more likely to succeed at reaching these goals. Anybody can say that I want to lose 20 pounds, but if you can tell yourself and be honest with yourself and say, hey, I need to lose 20 pounds because I don't feel comfortable with my clothes off with my husband around, that's going to motivate you. And again, don't just say I want to feel better, look better, I want better health, I want to feel more comfortable in my clothes. Again, be very specific on why you want to achieve that goal. Maybe you need to lose 20 pounds because your doctor said that you have high blood pressure, and if you don't get the weight off, that you're going to have to go on medications. That's going to really motivate you compared to just saying I need to lose 20 pounds. So again, be very honest with yourself and really identify why you want to achieve those goals. The third step then is you got to get committed. You got to ask yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the least and 10 being the most, how committed are you? So you have to ask yourself, how committed am I? Then answer the question and find out how to get to a 10. So if you ask yourself, how committed are you? And if you say I'm an 8, if I had someone to hold me accountable, I'd be a solid 10. Then what you need to do is find someone to hold you accountable so that you're fully committed. If you ask yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, how committed am I? And you say I'm a 7, but if I had someone to watch my kids while I work out, I'd be a 9. If I had a good support system with that, I'd be a solid 10. So then what you got to do is find someone to watch your children for you, and you got to find a solid support group, so again, that you're fully committed. And that's the only way that this program or any program will work, is if you're fully committed and you're honest, you're ready to do the work and put the time and effort into it. So you got to find out how you can be a scale of 1 to 10, how you got to be a 10. You're fully committed. Step number 4 then, when we actually get into the goal setting part, is you actually want to set some long-term goals. And what I suggest is you set these out for about 12 weeks out. You don't want to go much longer than that, even though these are going to seem, 90 days is pretty significant time. So set them out about 12 weeks. So set a goal that can be measured and again, give it a deadline. 90 days is a good time frame to achieve some significant results. So again, we'll go back to that goal of losing 20 pounds. You would write down, in the next 12 weeks, I will lose 20 pounds. Or if your goal is to lose 3 pant sizes, in the next 12 weeks, I will lose 3 pant sizes. This way you're not only giving a goal, but you're giving it a way to measure it to see if you actually achieve the goal, and you're putting some positive pressure on yourself because you're giving it a deadline. The 5th step then is you actually want to take that 12-week goal and then set some short-term goals from that. And the short-term goal should be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks. So after you set your short-term goal, then break it up into an 8-week goal and then a 4-week goal. So again, if your goal is to lose 12 or 20 pounds in the next 12 weeks, then maybe your goal for 8 weeks is to lose 15 pounds, and your 4-week goal is maybe to lose 8 pounds. That way, when you're going through your program, if you're not hitting your goals every 4 weeks, then you need to make a modification to your program to get you to get a little bit better results to hit your 4-week goals. Because if you're hitting your 4-week goals, you're eventually going to hit your 12-week goals. But if you're not achieving your 4-week goals, you need to make a modification to your program and get you back on track. The 6th step then, what you want to do is identify some patterns of action that you need to establish to help you achieve your goals. So you want to identify 3 to 5 new patterns of action that you need to establish to help you reach your goals. So here's some examples. Maybe a new pattern of action is going to set your alarm for 6 a.m. Monday through Saturday so that you can get your exercise right away first thing in the morning. Maybe a new action plan for you is to plan and prep your meals each night before you go to bed. Maybe a new pattern of action would be to drink 90 ounces of water every day. Maybe a new pattern of action would be to read your goals right away in the morning and again at night, so it's a constant reminder. And another one might be having only one cheat meal or one cheat day each week. Something that you're not doing currently that you need to establish to help you reach your goals. So again, patterns of action to help reach your goals by establishing them. The 5th step then is you want to identify some patterns of action or like bad habits that you need to break. So you would want to identify 3 to 5 patterns of action that you need to get rid of if you're going to reach your goals. So here's some examples. Maybe you drink like a glass of wine every night. That's definitely going to prevent you from reaching your goals. So you want to quit drinking that glass of wine each night. Maybe you have a bad habit of eating late at nighttime. And when you eat late at night, maybe that's not the healthiest things for you. So maybe a bad habit would be eating after 8 p.m. So to break that, a new pattern of action would be to quit eating those snacks after 8 p.m. Another one might be quit eating out more than once a week. These are all bad habits that will prevent you from reaching your goals. So those are patterns of action that you need to break. So again, step 6, you want to establish new habits. Step number 7, you want to establish patterns of action that you need to stay away from. Step number 8 then is when you write down your goals and your patterns of action, you want to read those goals twice a day. So read your goals immediately upon rising in the morning and again before you go to bed at nighttime. Now the reason why you want to do this is your subconscious mind will be constantly thinking about your goals. Even while you're sleeping at nighttime, your brain will be thinking about how to achieve them. Your subconscious mind never shuts off. It's always and constantly thinking. Another great thing to do is visualize what your body is going to look like when you achieve your goals. So, visualize it. Maybe print off a picture of somebody that you want to look like. And constantly be reminding yourself that you want to look like that picture. And that's going to keep you motivated and excited. And again, when you're going through your program, you want to make modifications to your program every 4 weeks if you're not hitting your 4-week goals. That's really important. All right, everybody. So that's how you set goals and establish a quick action plan. Again, if you need any more help, go ahead and give me a phone call or shoot me an email or get a hold of me on the private Facebook group.